Sum total of the president's policies, the 4 historic pieces of legislation that he's passed, along with a slew of administrative actions together, are leading to investments in industries of the future. They're leading to great new job opportunities, and we see those in places like Weirton, West Virginia, where we're seeing an iron ore battery plant opening on the site of an old mill that, when it shut down, lost jobs in that area. And of course, we're also seeing it in the steps that are being taken to increase competition and to create better opportunities for small businesses. So it's really the sum total of all 3 prongs of his policies that are working to create a strong economy, but also an economy that will be resilient for the long term because we're investing in infrastructure. And just yesterday, as you know, the president announced over $40 billion in investments in high-speed internet as part of an overall program over 2 different laws that is going to lead to every household in America having access to high-speed internet, which is very similar to the approach that we saw in the Rural Electrification Act undertaken by Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Andrea?
Yeah, I thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you about this boom in construction manufacturing and whether you think that, in combination with the new housing starts that we saw, where the numbers also went up in May, will lead to some relief on the housing price issue that could help with inflation. And then I want to ask you about the overall outlook for the economy, whether you're more confident now that there will be a soft landing and that a recession can be avoided.
Yeah, so I think it is going to be important over a medium term of several years to see greater housing supply, and that will help to provide longer term solutions. But even in the short run, if you look at the data on rent, for instance, the average rent is projected to come down for Americans over the second half of this year, providing really important relief to a lot of American families. What was the second part of your question?
Can a recession be avoided?
So in terms of, where we are on the economy, what has been interesting is, there have been these repeated predictions, and yet what we've seen in the actual data has been a lot of resilience. So again, we're continuing to see strong labor market, low unemployment. We've actually seen that stretch of a strong labor market improve due to the very large increase we've seen in participation of working age Americans. And so there are reasons to think that we are going to continue to see resilience against a backdrop of what we have referred to as more stable economic growth.
Kalia?
There is some important news for Americans that reside in several states. Also, experts have pointed to several signs that the U.S. economy may experience a crash very soon. Fed officials have also made announcements on what next steps they will need to take in order to address inflation and how this may affect you. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, in 2 days, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Home prices are ticking up amid a sustained housing shortage, making it even more difficult for people to enter the housing market. Mortgage rates remain well above recent historic lows, and even with new homes coming on the market soon, experts do not expect first-time buyers to see lower prices right away. Home prices are moving up largely due to inventory constraints, especially at the lower end of the market, where fierce demand leads to bidding wars. The intense competition drives home prices higher and often above what many would be homes that people can afford. But according to CBS News, Farmers Insurance recently indicated it will no longer offer coverage in the state of Florida. That is the third major insurer to pull out of the state so far this year, with AAA being the fourth. This is a move that will affect thousands of residents. The pullback might also hinder the housing market, which has been one of the hottest in the country as of late. Farmers Insurance spokesman Trevor Chapman told reporters this week, "We have advised the Florida Office of Insurance Regulation of our decision to discontinue offering farmers branded auto, home, and umbrella policies in the state. This business decision was necessary to effectively manage risk exposure." AAA followed suit, suggesting it would not renew home and car insurance for some of its policyholders in the state. AAA also cited increased natural disaster risks. The Florida housing market has been one of the hottest in the country, but now that trend might soon reverse. Newsweek, citing a Moody's report, noted that during the real estate price surge last year, Florida ranked second on a list of 11 states that saw home prices increase by more than 20% in the first quarter. Florida trailed only Arizona and one spot ahead of Georgia. But now, because of insurance companies pulling back, would-be homebuyers might take a pause, something that would have an immediate effect on the housing market. According to Redfin, this past June, home prices in Florida were down 0.33% compared to last year. Homes sold for a median price of $408,000. Meanwhile, the number of homes sold fell to 12.3%, and the number of homes for sale rose 5.1%. Mortgage rates have soared as the Fed battles inflation by raising interest rates. The Fed's rate hiking cycle drastically has cooled the housing demand, as mortgage rates met already high home prices and pushed would-be buyers to the sidelines. Demand has rebounded just a little as mortgage rates trended downward from their peak above 7% last fall in the early part of the year, and has remained steady even as rates have moved towards their peak in recent months. Average mortgage rates reached their highest level since November last week. Consumer inflation figures released by the Labor Department showed housing costs continue to drive it. The Consumer Price Index revealed the slowest annual inflation since 2021, coming in at 3%. This is down from 4% in May. Yet housing costs continue to prop up inflation, fueling more than 70% of price growth in June. The central bank paused its interest rate hikes in its last meeting to evaluate the impact of previous increases. And since then, mortgage rates have moved up close to 7%, while inflation has shown signs of cooling. But still, the Fed may continue its monetary tightening and raise interest rates further this year. Fed Governor Christopher Waller said during a speech last week. He stated, "I see 2 more 25 basis point hikes in the target range over the 4 remaining meetings this year, as necessary to keep inflation moving towards our target." Recent economic indicators validate the Fed's monetary approach, while showing a soft landing could be achieved without damaging consumer confidence and spending. So, dear friends, please let me know how inflation has affected your lives. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Wednesday. My dear friends, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.